Today I'm going to show you some comprehensive wrist warm-up and mobility exercises. Hey everyone, it's Blake here with Gorilla Zen Fitness, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about wrist warm-up exercises, and then I'm going to also show you some wrist mobilizations. Before I get into the exercises though, it's important to realize why it's important to warm up and mobilize the wrists. So the wrists are kind of like the ankles of the upper body, right? Your ankles connect your lower extremities to the ground, and your wrists can connect your upper extremities to whatever you're holding on to. So if you're working out, doing push-ups, bench press, pull-ups, anything like that, wrists are a crucial body part to focus on because they're a connecting joint. I just made that term up, but you get what I'm saying. If your wrists are really stiff and you're doing activities that require wrist dorsiflexion, which is this, so things like front squats, push-ups, any exercise in which your hand is like this, and your wrists are stiff, then you're really going to be increasing your chances of hurting your wrist as well as causing a shoulder injury. So in that case, wrist mobilizations would be important and good for you. Additionally, if you're somebody that's an ectomorph, meaning you have a really small frame, I'm actually an ectomorph, my wrist bones are very small, then your joints are going to kind of be predisposed to taking more mechanical stress if you're lifting very heavy weights and doing things like handstands and things like that. So if you're an ectomorph and you have a small body type and your wrists hurt when you're doing things like push-ups and practicing handstands, maybe dips, things like that, then warming up the wrists prior to training is really advantageous, and I think that you'll find that your wrists hurt less if you go into your workout with them warm. With that being said, I want to keep this video pretty short today, so I'll just get right into the wrist warm-ups. You can include these as part of your warm-up routine right before your workout, especially if you're doing a workout that has a lot of wrist dorsiflexion, like I said. So think of things like push-ups, overhead press, dips, anything that bends your wrist back, you're going to want to do these beforehand, okay? And basically what we're going to be doing is just moving around the joint, right? Pumping that synovial fluid in there, literally warming up the tissues and preparing the wrists for, taking a load, like your body weight, holding a weight, and just, like I said, really prepping the wrists. So the first thing you can do is a wrist roll. You're going to lace your fingers together like this, and then you're just going to do this. Okay, you're just going to do this really fast, and then you're going to switch directions periodically. Okay, this is the first exercise. The second thing you're going to do are wrist waves, which look like this. Okay, if you notice, what we're doing is we're actually flexing and dorsiflexing the wrists here with this. Okay, so little tiny movements that are not loaded that are going to mimic what we're doing are going to help. You want to switch directions with that too. Okay, then from here you're going to do this with your hand, okay? You're going to go front to back. Wow, I can't even do that. I got a janky left finger. You're going to go front to back like this. You can even incorporate some little side twists in there like this. Okay, hands come together for this next one. You're going to push down, keeping your palms together, raising your elbows up, okay, and then back up. Down and up. You should be able to go lower than this, but my wrist is very inflamed right now. I'm actually getting injected with prolotherapy next week, but you get the idea. Push the hands down the body, not letting the palms separate like this. Go as low as you can, and as soon as the palms start to separate like that, come back up, keeping them together though. The elbows should come higher than the palms when you're doing this. And then the last one is a variation of that. It's reverse, okay? So right here, you can kind of just play around with this, just like this. You can also push down. You actually want to get your hands up like this when you're pushing down. Try to keep your wrists lower. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. Right like that. Okay, so those are pretty much it. I recommend you do each one of those exercises for 15 to 30 seconds as part of your warm-up. Okay, now moving on to some wrist mobilizations that are going to help with dorsiflexion, okay? If you're somebody like me and you have hypermobile wrists, like they're not stiff, they just kind of get inflamed from a lot of dorsiflexion, then you might not want to do this. This is really only necessary if your wrists are really stiff and you can't like bend your wrist back, you can't dorsiflex it. You should be able to come back to at least this far, or actually about at least this far. If you get stuck right here, then this is a very good exercise for you. All you need for it is a resistance band. Okay, so you want to set up on the ground with a band tied around something stable. really low, close to the ground, because you're going to be on all fours here. Basically, you're going to put your arm through the band, put the band right above the wrist joint, okay? Come out so that the band is tense. You want basically tension pulling the bone back. And then from here, similar to the ankle mobilization video that I made, you're going to pump forward into dorsiflexion. Okay, you're going to force that wrist to bend. Okay, you're going to want to go a little bit farther than me, but like I said, my wrist is a little inflamed right now. But essentially, you're going to really force that thing to dorsiflex and work on that mobility in there, okay? Most people are not going to be lacking their ability to flex their wrist this way. They're going to lack the dorsiflexion. So I'm not even going to show any other mobilizations. But another way you can do this is to switch up the direction of the banded distraction. Okay, so now it's pulling my bone this way, okay? And you're going to do the same thing. The other one's a little bit easier to do because the palm really wants to lift off here. Make sure the palm stays planted for both of these, and you're just trying to basically increase the angle from your bone here and your hand, okay? Or decrease the angle, I mean. Make the angle smaller like that without letting the palm come off the ground. So for that one, you can do about 15 repetitions in each direction on both sides. I made an ankle mobilization a long time ago that kind of goes along with this exercise. Like I said, your wrist and your ankle are very similar. If you haven't seen that, then go ahead and check it out in the description down below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, then go ahead and give it a like down below. Also, give me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the video. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, then go ahead and do that right over here. Lastly, go ahead and follow me on Instagram and like my Facebook page. I'll include links to both of those things also in the description down below. Other than that, I'll see you next time.